Stick with me. You probably think a bigger, more expensive rifle is automatically better. That single assumption is costing you performance cash and control. Pistol caliber carbines are no backup option anymore. They fly off shelves. New models dropping massive production hikes, and wait lists replacing empty dust. Meanwhile, traditional tactical rifles remain solid, but they are no longer the default. Today we are counting down the absolute best premium mid-tier and budget carbines that crush what most people think is the obvious choice. Tier 1, the best premium gear. This level does not ask for trust, it earns it. No shortcuts, no compromises. Just hardcore engineering. These rifles are not chasing relevance. They are shattering the idea that only five-figure builds own the top. One name here will absolutely split opinions. Its reputation is legendary. Whether it still deserves that hype, let's find out together. First, the top spot. Number 1, B&T APC9 Pro. This system is the argument. Not the brand, but the mechanism. B&T built this weapon around a hydraulic buffer system, a genius design that does not just absorb felt recoil, it dominates it mechanically, sitting right around $2,500 to $2,800. This 9mm platform runs a 6.9-inch barrel, weighing 5.5 pounds unloaded. That lightweight build, paired with hydraulic action, produces a shooting character that cheap blowbacks cannot replicate. The non-reciprocating charging handle stays completely out of your workspace. Its side-folding stock locks up with tight Swiss manufacturing tolerances, collapsing down to a microscopic 14.8 inches. Yes, it runs those proprietary B&T magazines, with Glock or SIG lower options, showing off a mature ecosystem. Trust me, here is the ultimate proof of its superiority. Its engineering is so undisputed that the APC9K variant became the first submachine gun winning a U.S. Army contract since the Thompson M1A1 in 1943. Beating out mil-spec AR-15 setups. This does not just win, it dictates new rules. Number 2, SIG MPX. Here is the detail most reviews miss. The SIG MPX is no blowback carbine. It is gas-operated. A short-stroke piston system with a closed, locked, rotating bolt. At roughly $2,150, you get the absolute brutality of an assault rifle, scaled down to 9mm, while normal blowbacks rely on heavy springs and buffer mass to manage that action. The MPX harnesses timed gas pressure to drive the bolt. The result? A weapon that runs incredibly clean and cycles, with unmatched consistency across completely different ammo loads. Ambidextrous familiar. AR controls, plus a free-floated MLOK handguard, and a non-reciprocating charging handle make it instantly intuitive. Its proprietary magazines are rugged and highly proven, and here is the secret to its legendary reliability. This advanced gas piston system was engineered specifically to satisfy elite naval requirements, allowing the weapon to fire underwater and instantly clear itself emerging from the surf. In a tier where let's look at how the MPX spends all its cash. Number 3, CMMG Banshee Mark 10. Before we even talk caliber, understand this beast. This monster CMMG Banshee MK10 is chambered in 10mm auto. That single difference totally transforms this $1,750 platform, because 10mm auto packs near rifle kinetic energy out of an 8-inch barrel. The real magic is CMMG's radial delayed blowback system. This patented design literally forces the bolt to rotate during extraction, turning the violent kick of the 10mm round into a smooth rotational delay. It completely eliminates the need for a heavy, clunky buffer spring. We get a 5.5-pound compact gun that recoils like a standard 9mm, but hits like a freight train. That MK10 tag means seamless compatibility with Glock 10mm magazines. But watch closely. This engineering secret is pure genius. The CMMG's bolt has aggressively chamfered lugs, forcing the carrier to fight its own friction just to unlock, giving you that smooth roller lock delay without the heavy, expensive hardware. For shooters demanding brutal energy, way past the standard 9mm limits, absolutely nothing else in this class even competes. Number 4, the Tactical Daniel Defense DD-PCC. The hype around this Daniel Defense DD-PCC starts right where you expect, the barrel. We get a cold hammer-forged stainless steel 16-inch barrel with a 1 in 10 twist. This $1,850 weapon squeezes out way more velocity than any short-barreled rifle. This tactical rig is built to perform right at the absolute bleeding edge of 9mm limits. It runs a super smooth, direct blowback system, coming in at 7.5 pounds. This is definitely not some cheap bag gun. We are talking a full-size tactical weapon, rocking the classic 13.5-inch MLOK handguard. Brilliantly, Daniel Defense skipped annoying proprietary mags completely, running those affordable. Ultra-reliable 35-round CZ Scorpion mags. Now, let's uncover the hidden history. To guarantee this beast runs flawlessly, Daniel Defense had to break their top golden rule. They threw out their standard AR-15 setup and totally re-engineered the 40 bolt geometry to feed those double-stack Scorpion mags perfectly, destroying the feeding issues that ruin basic AR-9 builds. This is pure tactical and unbreakable quality. Number 5. The Zenith ZF5. There is a massive debate over what that classic roller-delayed design actually offers shooters today. And this Zenith ZF5 is the exact weapon to settle it. Priced around $1,550, this ZF5 runs a true roller-delayed blowback system. Its 8.9-inch cold hammer-forged 4150 CMV steel barrel comes factory-ready with a 3-lug suppressor mount. Expect a classic MP5-style trigger pull, around 6 to 8 pounds. This setup values extreme battlefield reliability over match-grade precision. Unfolded, it measures exactly 27.75 inches, feeding from reliable 30-round steel mags. That legendary roller-delayed system turns the hard recoil into a soft, steady push that basic blowback rifles just cannot match. You and I both know the real winner here is the Bloodline. Zenith is not just making some cheap copy. They build off original technical blueprints and reverse-engineered factory tooling. All right, you and I are grabbing a clone engineered with the exact tactical DNA of Cold War originals, built to the brutal production standards that define elite anti-terror units. At number 6, the Heckler & Koch SP5. No other subgun here carries more legendary combat reputation than this beast of an HK. Demanding a heavy $3,000 plus price tag, this is the genuine German, engineered semi-automatic civilian counterpart to the iconic and legendary MP5. Its roller-delayed blowback system literally defined tactical operations for over 50 years. Rocking an 8.86-inch barrel, it weighs 5.1 pounds empty, and boasts the classic factory tri-lug adapter. That delayed roller lock system absorbs recoil so fast, firing it honestly feels like complete cheating, running flatter and way more controlled than any basic AR-9. Now watch closely, because here is the engineering secret that justifies the hype. The SP5 rocks a deeply fluted chamber, doing much more than aiding extraction. It literally bleeds off hot combustion gases to float that spent brass on a pneumatic cushion. This acts like an invisible bearing, a tech directly inherited from the heavy G3 battle rifle. Sure, the Zenith delivers similar mechanics for cheaper, but this SP5 remains the undisputed, uncompromising master. That pure German heritage is real. Now for Tier 2, the absolute best in mid-tier. This is war. High-end wins on specs, budget wins on cost, but mid-tier must crush both. And these 6 platforms deliver. One brings delayed blowback tech that makes premium brands sweat. Another redefines insane value so hard it triggers buyer remorse. While our last pick is so legendary, skipping it would be criminal. Number 7. The Springfield Armory Cuna. That custom tactical build is the whole story. But here is the real shocker. The Cuna is not even made by Springfield. It is crafted in Croatia by HS Product, the elite military engineers behind the battle-tested Hellion assault rifle. We are not looking at some cheap recycled straight blowback AR-9. This is a purpose-built roller-delayed beast. Let us pause to uncover the secret history behind this gun. It was not even meant for the American civilian market. It actually started its life chambered in the heavy 40S and W round, specifically built to fight for a major military police contract in Sao Paulo, Brazil. It went face-to-face with elite European brands like B&T, crushing every single trial, and secured that contract before ever adapting down to 9mm, since it was heavily over-engineered to conquer that brutal 40S and W. This roller-delayed action makes firing 9mm feel like a complete cheat code. code. The mechanical delay absorbs the shock, giving you incredibly flat tracking for follow-ups, without the violent bolt bounce of old-school blowback designs. Weighing in at a sleek 5.3 pounds, it packs a premium 6-inch cold hammer forged barrel into an ultra-compact 15.5-inch folded profile. Feeding from clear 30-round magazines. It features a solid monolithic upper, custom AR grip options, and fully ambidextrous controls. This is a savage, raw, high-performance tactical weapon. Number 8. The Grand Power Stribog SP9A3. Slovakia's Grand Power proved this platform in the hardcore European military market, long before US buyers noticed. Priced incredibly around $1,050, and trust me, you and I are looking at a true roller-delayed masterpiece. You and I cannot confuse this with that basic A1 blowback. This A3 is tactical perfection, boasting an 8-inch barrel. And weighing only 4.5 pounds, it stands as the lightest delayed system out there. The sleek, non-reciprocating charging handle and quick-folding brace collapse this into a tight 16.69-inch package that completely outclasses every basic blowback competitor. Its roller delay eats the violent snap of 9mm rounds, keeping your red dot totally locked on target. Here is the absolute genius part. Classic roller guns like the MP5 demand complex, headache-inducing welding just to fit their internal parts. The Stribog completely flips the script. Its roller moves along an angled track carved right into that solid receiver. This slashes moving parts and cuts production costs completely, handing you elite-tier recoil control in a brutally simple, hard-hitting mid-tier package. Number 9. The legendary Century Arms AP5. Now pay attention, because running a platform built to actual military standards brings elite-level credibility to true battle specifications, and the Century Arms AP5 owns that space entirely, selling for around $1,150. This animal is built with authentic roller lock delayed components, manufactured by MKE in Turkey, sporting an 8.9-inch barrel at 5.5 pounds. It rocks the legendary ambidextrous paddle release and feeds from 30-round steel magazines. It delivers the exact buttery smooth recoil response of a premium tier weapon, but at a price that totally breaks the market. This gun thrives on heavy high round counts and brutal environments, and its historical pedigree is absolutely mind-blowing. MKE, the powerhouse building these tough receivers, was first set up by the Ottoman Empire back in the 15th century. That means your gun comes from the exact same armory lineage that forged the massive bronze cannons used to tear down the historic walls of Constantinople. Can you believe that? That is battle-proven firepower at an unbeatable price. At number 10, we have the legendary CZ Scorpion EVO 3 S1. This platform did more to dominate the modern tactical carbine scene than almost any other weapon. Priced aggressively at $899, its massive popularity is no mistake. It runs a simple, ultra-reliable blowback action, featuring a heavy 7.72-inch cold hammer forged barrel, collapsing down to a super compact 16.35 inches. At just 5 pounds, this impact-resistant polymer frame is lightning fast, backed by a massive universe of aftermarket upgrades. Those proprietary 30-round magazines are easily some of the most reliable and affordable feeds on the market. But there is a hidden secret behind this weapon's incredible handling. It actually was not designed by the Czechs. That EVO 3 title exists because the original was the legendary Cold War-era VZ61. The version 2 was actually an advanced Slovakian prototype designed by the brilliant minds at Laugo Arms, the team behind the legendary Alien pistol. CZ snatched up those brilliant blueprints and modernized the platform into the absolute powerhouse we see today. It is a pure masterpiece of outsourced design. Number 11. The tough PSAAKV. Palmetto State Armory built this AKV to replicate the legendary Russian Vityaz submachine gun, and they completely crushed it. Priced right at $950. Trust me, this heavy steel receiver absorbs the kind of brutal abuse that would absolutely trash cheap aluminum frames. Let's dive into this blowback platform, packing a 10.5-inch nitrided barrel, tipping the scales at a solid 6.3 pounds. It feeds from ultra-reliable 35-round proprietary PSA9 mags. That long 10.5-inch barrel squeezes serious velocity from the 9mm round, delivering a massive ballistic advantage. The long, heavy AK trigger is precisely what Kalashnikov purists crave. But pay attention here, because they actually out-engineered the Russian designers. The classic Vityaz was infamous for painful trigger slap and dangerous out-of-battery misfires. PSA engineers completely crushed this legendary flaw by building a custom bolt hold-open and bracket system straight into the trigger assembly. They did not just copy that elite Russian Spetsnaz weapon, they completely rebuilt the internal mechanics, providing a buttery smooth, insanely reliable AK platform built for American shooters. Number 12. Ruger PC Carbine. The takedown feature is no gimmick. It is the entire heart of this weapon. This $679 monster splits apart in under 5 seconds, sliding easily into a regular backpack. Running a heavy-duty blowback system, this 6.8-pound gun rocks a 16.12-inch threaded barrel, milking absolute maximum power from the 9mm cartridge. They smartly threw in swappable magwells right out of the factory box, allowing you to swap instantly from Ruger feeds to common Glock 9mm mags. This makes this carbine the ultimate survival and backup tool. The real trick to its super soft recoil is inside the bolt. They built a custom dead blow action with a floating tungsten mass inside the carrier, stealing this design from their famous 10-22 Magnum system from the late 1990s. This heavy tungsten piece slides forward when fired, completely eating up the violent bolt bounce that ruins accuracy on typical blowback builds. You get full-size combat performance, compact storage, and ultimate logistical flexibility, all packed into one sleek package. Let's pause here. We are looking at budget tiers where the real market lives, where smart shooters pick pistol caliber carbines over standard tactical rifles and easily win. One brand ships direct to consumers. Zero middleman markup, pure value. Another folds so small it makes normal rifles look obsolete. And one brings Slovak power that completely shreds what budget guns should do. These guns are not compromises. They never were. Number 13. Extar EP9 4 pounds, 0.9 ounces. That ultra-low weight makes this weapon way lighter than almost anything in its class. Priced at an insane $449, they cut out dealer markups by selling directly to you. This rugged, direct blowback 9mm setup runs a 6.5-inch threaded barrel and feeds flawlessly from Glock double-stack mags right away, at 24 inches overall. It handles faster than an AR-15, while costing a fraction of the price to shoot. Trust me, you and I are going to be mind-blown by this design. They completely eliminated the heavy steel buffer by inventing a unique, ultra-tough, reinforced polymer receiver that actually flexes slightly under pressure. This micro-flexing material physically absorbs the brutal impact of the heavy blowback bolt. Let's look at how it dampens recoil without destroying itself. It hands budget shooters a hyper-lightweight, completely reliable machine. A tactical defensive tool that totally redefines polymer strength. Number 14. The Smith & Wesson M&P FPC. The creators built this FPC to solve one massive mechanical nightmare. How do you fold a 16.25-inch barrel into a 16.375-inch footprint without losing velocity? At $659, this weapon answers with a brilliant side-folding design. Once folded, the entire firing system is totally shut down, serving as an automatic safety feature for easy transport. Ready to shoot, this 5-pound blowback weapon squeezes maximum power from the 9mm round, offering a tactical handguard and packing both 17 and 23-round M&P magazines. Watch closely here. The real genius is hidden in plain sight. Engineers secretly developed this folding carbine alongside their pistol line for years. Its grip and magazine well share the exact same shape and texture as their compact handgun. They designed this on purpose so tactical law enforcement teams can easily swap from sidearms to their primary patrol rifles without losing a single second of muscle memory. This is a high-performance truck gun masking as a budget build. 15. The Foxtrot Mike FM9. The AR9 rules because the standard rifle platform is the absolute gold standard for shooters in America, coming in around $700. This tactical weapon delivers on that exact promise. Running a direct blowback system, this 5-pound machine features a gorgeous, free-floating tactical handguard, cut straight from solid metal. It feeds reliably on standard Glock magazines, giving you access to the biggest aftermarket on Earth. Its premium solid metal receiver set offers an insane quality upgrade in a price range usually filled with cheap plastic imports. I know what you're thinking, but their greatest triumph is completely invisible. They totally eliminated the dangerous safety flaws of standard systems. Cheap blowback firearms are notorious for devastating misfires and receiver explosions. The builders integrated a custom interlocking firing pin and extractor design that physically stops a strike until the bolt is fully locked in place against the barrel. That is elite-level safety engineering hiding inside a lethal, affordable combat platform. Number 16. The Freedom Ordnance FX9, machined from solid metal to build the ultimate tactical foundation, priced around $750. This heavy-duty weapon is crafted completely from solid aerospace aluminum. You can grab it as a compact 8-inch model or a longer 6-pound rifle. It feeds standard Glock mags effortlessly and arrives with a ready-to-suppress barrel and tactical handguard. Solid metal machining guarantees much tighter tolerances than casting. And bringing that high-end production to a budget gun is where this brand shines. But the absolute biggest secret of this setup is its actual footprint. This is definitely not some standard 5.56 rifle with a cheap adapter stuffed inside it. The engineers completely redesigned the receiver frames, leaving you and I with a receiver set that is exactly 1 inch shorter. Trust me, shrinking the entire receiver geometry. They optimized the ejection port travel to cycle straight-walled 9mm brass with 0 issues, killing off those nasty stovepipe jams that ruin oversized AR9 conversions. Number 17. Kel-Tec Sub-2000, Generation 3, 16.25 inches. That is the folded length of this Generation 3 beast, packing a full 16.1-inch threaded barrel inside a ridiculously small footprint. Costing about $499, this blowback carbine weighs a featherlight 4.25 pounds and feeds from standard Glock magazines. The Generation 3 update completely reshaped this platform by adding a rotating forend, meaning you can finally fold it flat, even with a red dot optic mounted. It pops out of a backpack into a 30.5-inch optic-ready carbine in 1 second flat for maximum velocity. Nothing else touches it. Now pay attention to the history here. Founder George Kellgren did not just pull this folding design out of nowhere. He built these folding mechanics based on the classic Swedish K submachine guns he analyzed decades ago. He engineered the latch to work purely on gross motor skills, guaranteeing that, in a high-stress tactical situation, you can rip the gun open and lock it with one quick, violent wrist snap. Number 18. The Slovakian Stribog SP9A1. This beast closes our list with nothing but raw, uncompromising tactical power. Priced around $750, this is the direct blowback Stribog model, rocking a solid 8-inch barrel and a smooth, non-reciprocating charging handle. It feeds reliably from 30-round proprietary magazines. This brutally simple, ultra-reliable system bypasses all the complex gas or roller delay setups, spitting out round after round without ever needing adjustments for different ammo. Plenty of Picatinny rails and a fast brace make it highly customizable. We're looking at the exact same Slovakian military pedigree as the premium model, proving budget is not cheap. The truly wild engineering fact here is this gun's absolute durability. Its monolithic extruded aluminum upper receiver was not just built for 9mm. Grand Power engineers heavily overbuilt the frame, making the receiver walls thick enough to possess immense structural tensile strength, theoretically containing the chamber pressure of a .300 blackout cartridge. It is basically an indestructible vault built for a pistol caliber. 3 tiers, 18 platforms, and the data is clear. These pistol caliber carbines are not just competing anymore. They win on accessibility, ergonomics, cheap magazines, and performance per dollar. Now it is your turn. Which tier won you over, and which of these platforms does not deserve its spot? Drop your thoughts below, because you and I are here for that exact debate. The tactical rifle is not dead, but it is no longer the only default choice. Do you want 60-second YouTube short scripts for the top 3 guns to drive? Massive, aggressive traffic to this video.